Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal and crypto link in the info box below this video. Most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page we're currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Zinda, the Plain Truth, Sleeping Warrior, Physics Warrior, Jose, Eric, Chocolate Sane, and Arwin. Good to have you all.
Yo.
Cheers.
Greetings.
Good afternoon.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, good morning, good afternoon. So, any signs of curvature?
No.
No, Nathan.
Visual humps.
Hey, Ranty.
Ranty.
It's
And T.
good day.
Good day.
Yo.
So, any signs
Hey,
of
Ranty.
axial rotation of the Earth-based variety as Ranty's here?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Hey, Ranty, nice picture, man.
You
Any
like that?
evidence that you
It's
can have
cool,
a gas
isn't it?
pressure without a container?
Yeah. Where did you get that? Yeah. I'm sorry, Nathan.
That's alright.
No problem. Container. No, the answer.
Two.
So, what's this, Anthony, that you've shared with us? Just a picture of wiggly railways.
Apparently, the railway lines. There's an argument to say that railway lines are not actually straight. Now, what I'm going to say is this is the submitted evidence to support the notion that railway lines are not necessarily flat, not straight flat. I meant to say flat. But I'm going to say that what you're seeing there is probably in the Soviet Union somewhere where they've not spent any money on railways for 20 years, and you've got you got a bouncy castle. So unless we're going to argue that the state of the US railways is comparable to the state of the Soviets in the Cold era, in the Cold War era, then I don't think it's a credible argument to argue that there's such a thing as bendy railway tracks. It's definitely worth showing just to show how stupid their arguments have become.
Right. I'm
yeah,
sure at
see,
some
see
point
the state
during...
of Texas to see how many hills he has and how many up and downs.
But he's only got that effect because he's lowered his camera. He doesn't have the same wiggly railway lines when he raises up. And also, those wiggly railway lines are distinct and you can see them. They don't disappear into the horizon with a train behind them.
I know, but I just wanted to show how stupid their counter-argument is, rather than actually apply it as a credible rebuttal. I just want to laugh at it.
I just want to share something in the side chat. I'm going to paste something now. This is a comment. This is a message that I had on Facebook to me from Ian Mattison. Now, he's not actually a flat earther, but this is the message that he actually sent me. If anyone wants to read that out, Jose, you might read that because it's about you, actually.
Derailed soundly. Nice.
Someone read it out.
I can't read it, too small for me.
I hate it when somebody turns out to be correct, but I have to give it to Riley. You called it ages ago. Thankfully, Jose has managed to verify your assessment and finally debunk soundly. You could say Jose got the right track and derailed soundly.
There you go.
Nobody noticed that I misread it.
That's Riley. No, I called it ages ago.
Well, to be honest, that guy's been buried about 50 times. I mean, he's like a bloody apocalyptic alien. He keeps getting buried, but ballers still seem to think that in some way he's got he seems to be the only guy on the whole planet that can do things like get Earthshine on the eclipse and get curvature. I mean, no. If it was the case that it was curved, we would all be able to see it, and we would all realise it immediately. It ain't
Well, I'm guessing then that this evidence has already been presented on the first show.
what evidence?
It's just a professional forger.
No, the train tracks, because we saw them yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, Ranty, you're about an hour behind.
Well, obviously, I've just walked in. That's what I'm saying. So obviously, has it been talked about on the first debate? That's what I was asking.
No, we were waiting for you, Ranty. Do you want to take us through it?
Nah.
Just nice not to have to believe the nonsense that these dumbasses have to. I honestly think that they're trolling us. I don't think that they actually believe it anymore.
Well, I believe I had a hangout, or what is it? One of those premieres done about me yesterday. Conspiracy Cats. I actually watched it live. I didn't say anything in the actual chat. I was just watching it, and it proves to me that we're actually winning. We are actually winning, and they can't handle it to the point where they will obfuscate my points, lie about my points, misrepresent the points, don't talk about the evidence that's provided to them about compression, and renege back to the baller from last year, basically. And that's what happened yesterday. It was very embarrassing for the ball, but of course his supporters are all patting him on the back. But that one video that was done proves to me that we're actually winning this by a mile. Yeah. Because if they have to hide evidence, just like Miles Davis does when he crops out his photograph, if he has to hide the evidence and misrepresent the evidence and the work that's been done this year, then he's not credible. He's a fraud.
Yeah, that's all they've got. Texas sharpshooter, limit the scope of the view that people can see, change the angle that people are representing the view of, create AutoCAD drawings to say it should look like this. All they can do is cheat, swindle and deceive. We have the truth on our side. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. All they can do is cheat. So people like Soundly are a poster child for the globe Earth deception. He's a cheating, lying, swindling deceiver. And that is your poster child for the globe Earth. It's pathetic, but it's true. That's what you've got. Liars and cheats backing this narrative. If it was true, you'd have people as pure and as angelic as there could be punting this narrative. Well, you do on mainstream TV. You've got people like Brian Cox and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Shiny, shiny faces that they have.
Yeah, so he was doubling down on his assertion that the boat went over the curve of the Earth, which it didn't, obviously. We know that. And he's deliberately missed out the most crucial point of the whole thing that we've worked on this year, which is the compression issue that I just haven't seen. Jose's seen. We've got Red Pill Philosophy that's been able to do it with his boats. We're all seeing this effect of compression in the very narrow viewing angle. And he conveniently decided not to talk about that. Now that is, you know, literally he's lying to his people, because at least when we discuss things on the show, we take their argument in its entirety and we go through it. Whereas what he did is he took a portion of the argument and just stuck to that without having the whole basis, all the evidence, and scrutinizing all the evidence in one thing. He just took a very small portion of something to try and make it fit his narrative. Very embarrassing for the ball.
They know they're losing.
Yeah, exactly.
They know they don't recognize they're wrong, but they know it. They feel it. They're backed in a corner now, and they don't know what to do. They'll never give in. They even now start to publicly just say it out loud. It's a religious decision, but they have nowhere to go. We completely took the rug right underneath them.
Well, we know what sort of channel this Conspiracy Cats channel is going to be. It's going to be on the same lines of this Simon Dan. Whereas if you go back to people like Red's Rhetoric or Slice Barcane, at least, you know, they in some respects had a, you know, more of an interest in taking our entire argument and looking through it. Whereas these guys, they're a new breed of baller, and I think they're just playing up to their audience because they see that they are getting popular by means of YouTube or whatever, And they then think that they need to play up to the audience. And the best way they can do that is just to mock people and just tell them what they need to know without anything else. They don't need to go any further because they've got the whole body of science behind them. So this is the kind of people that we're dealing with. So, yeah, I'm probably never going to mention Conspiracy Cats ever again, simply because I don't want to give him the airspace. He doesn't deserve it. I thought he was going to be different. I thought he had an open mind when he first came onto the scene. I couldn't have been further from the truth.
I thought you would be different. You're just like all the rest.
Yeah, that's the one, Nathan. You got it.
Yeah, Nathan, just present my screen if you would.
Yeah.
This is literally what's happening. All the ballers are queuing up because they want the reassuring lie. They don't want to know about the inconvenient truth. And that's why there's so many of them that are happy just to follow people like Simon Dan, Conspiracy Cats. Literally, I had an argument with Conspiracy Cats, or a discussion, debate, whatever you want to call it, to do with light refracting. And basically what he believes is that light is able... He was trying to explain the point that Rumpus and Phil... What was Phil's surname? Is it... Well, Philip Viner. Yeah, Philip, the physics master.
Philip
Weinberg, yeah, that's it. Philip Weinberg. We've been outstanding this document for 7, 8, 9 months. And what they're trying to work on is how they can get an inferior mirage to work on a ball. And basically, they need to show the reflection of the image above upside down below it. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, so there's a boat and it's miraging underneath itself and it's upside down underneath it. They've got to show how that can even happen on a sphere, because it can't. And it's took months and months and months, and they keep basically thinking and hoping that we've forgotten about it, but we don't. We remember it. And
Yeah,
he's got
fractaling is difficult.
Yeah. He was trying to explain and argue how this can work on a sphere, and of course it can't, because if the horizon's only 3 miles away for the average 6-foot observer on the beach, then it means that anything beyond that 3 miles, really, according to their stupid model, it would be behind the horizon and starting to go over the curve, because that's what they tell us it is. But the problem is, you can't. When he goes into his orthographic view, that doesn't really help him, because it manifests the problem, and it basically shows him that he's got to argue the most bizarre way that light ever behaves in your entire life. And I had to point out to him, I said, Conspiracy Cats, this is not the way that light works. Light works in straight lines. It doesn't bend the way that you're drawing it. I said, if it did, you wouldn't be able to drive a car or fly a plane. You would never know what is the reality.
We know that. He's just what he is. He should change his name from Conspiracy Cats to Conspiracy Parrot, because that's all he is. He's a parrot. He went to school. Well, he went to school, and all he's doing now is just parroting what he's been told.
Yeah.
Just call him Conspiracy Cat Litter.
But he hasn't got an obligation in law to tell the truth in being a teacher. That's what I've learned recently. So he's able to do that. He's able to lie, and he's able to rely on the perception that they are one of the most trusted professions to explain away the bullshit that we're laughing at. And I'm gutted, really, that I kind of introduced him into Flat Earth, because you
introduced Simon Dan as well, actually.
I thought I didn't introduce Simon Dan. I don't know.
You did to the show.
Only because
when he only had like 50 subs.
Well, the thing is, these guys are basically pushing the reassuring lie, and it's interesting psychologically to see how many people are queuing up outside, and just basically, it's kind of like, you know, in like rural areas in the Middle East where they have the United Nations food convoy going in, and they have the car, and there's like sacks of grain on the back of it, and there's like hundreds of kids all like clutching at them with like hands because they're all starving. This is what the ballers are like. They're all the kids at the back of and the UN are all giving out grain. And that's what Simon Dan and Conspiracy Cats are doing, passing out the grain. And I'm sat there looking at it and thinking, you guys are absolutely stupid. But I can't understand how it's even working, because it's like, the only thing it must be is that they don't want to accept the reality of the world in which we live does not match their expectations, their claims, their models. It doesn't match it. So they've got to distort the jelly mold so badly that, I mean, if light did the way the things that these guys need it to do, you wouldn't be able to drive a car. I'm done, by the way.
You're done? You weren't presenting, by the way.
No, I mean, I'm done as in moaning.
Yeah, all right, okay. Did you manage to film anything up at St. Bede's?
Nah, the weather's been average to poor all week. It's been dry, but it's just been really cloudy and dark and not a lot of light.
Full moon tomorrow. Oh, sorry, full moon tonight, actually. So maybe tomorrow there'll be better weather.
Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. So, is it worth going back over Miles the Liar Davis? Because he seems to be ignoring us still.
Well, what's to really say? I mean, you know,
Miles, we've debunked your claim, and we're waiting for how it is that your model that you claim is matching the observation that you make is not consistent with the angular size calculations that Adam presented. So either Adam's got his maths wrong, or his model that he used, the angular size calculator, is wrong, or you've done something wrong. And I'm going to call it that you guys are misrepresenting what you claim is what it's supposed to be on.
They don't care.
Because I'm pretty much certain
they really don't care.
I'm pretty much certain that Adam's got the input values correct on the applicator that he used. And the angular size comes back out the other side. I'm happy that that's probably correct. And if I had to put my money on where I
Adam
thought
gave a disclaimer to us yesterday,
side,
Anthony.
I'm pretty certain it would be on your application of your model.
So Adam gave us a disclaimer yesterday, and he explained that when he was calculating how much hidden there should be, he's doing it per the calculator with each individual peak measured. And in actuality, you're not physically tilting your camera down more as the calculator makes you do when measuring to a different hill. You've got a fixed angle to whatever it is you're first in line with. Now, according to Miles Davis, that's the 2 posts. Well, if that's, you know, the top of the bridge, if that's what you're level with, that's the angle of the camera. Well, the curve calculator forces you to point the camera further down as you look further out. Well, he hasn't given them that. In other words, he's given them more leeway in their favour by using the calculation to do each individual peak and go with the fact that they say you'd be angling your camera more down to see that peak, even though that's physically impossible. He's got something in the near foreground, and that's obviously creating a single angle, not multiple angles to different peaks in different distances. But he's just done it as per the calculation. In other words, given it in their favour. But the bottom line, Anthony, is what he's done wrong is he's using feet and inches. He's not accounting for perspective. He's not making angular size measurements. He's just using the bare bones normal proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculation to misrepresent our world in an orthographic view and then tell us what his model says should or shouldn't be there. But he's completely ignored perspective, as they do. That's what the trick does.
Adam told me to give a plug for tonight's show on Iron Realm Media. It's Friday night, and obviously in the UK at about 11. Iron Realm Media are going live, and tonight's special guest,
Travis.
It is. So make sure you check out Iron Realm Media tonight at 11 PM, Great Greenwich Mean Time, because that's where Travis will be. Travis, what are you going to be talking about?
We'll be talking about the moon.
I'll be there to watch it.
Sorry, I was out of the room. What are you guys asking me?
What is it you're doing on Iron Realm Media? What are you talking about tonight?
I don't have an agenda. Zach and I have just been chatting, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come on the show on Friday?" I'm like, "I'm just a middle schooler. You guys are like college age. I don't belong there." So they just invited me to come. I was just going to go hang out. We'll talk about whatever, I suppose.
Cool.
Well,
have you been on Iron Realm before? The guys at Iron Realm are the best guys on earth. They're brilliant.
Oh, yeah. No, I love listening to them. So, yeah, it'll be good. I'll actually be driving, so I'm not sure how great the sound quality will be. We'll check it out.
Big shout out to our counterparts out on Iron Realm Media. I'll be watching tonight.
Big shout out to the 19 subscribers I got since yesterday. Boom. Thank you very much.
How many?
Yeah, 19 subscribers since yesterday. So wow. I'm up to 311 today. Yeah.
Excellent.
The first push I had for my channel was Jamie Brown. He did me a shout out. I don't know, it was 7-8 months ago. Probably a little over a year, I think. And yeah, it got me like maybe 25 subscribers, and I kept going up, hustling for subscribers little by little, one at a time. I'm up to 311. I'm thrilled and happy. I will get to 1,000 in 10 years.
You never know. You might get there before the end of the year. You don't know. Keep doing what you're doing.
I also want to give a bit of a shout out to and nobody. I know you guys might want to retract it, some of y'all, but I want to give a shout out to Tim Osmond. No, seriously, because like a couple of days ago, he had a live hangout going on, and I happened to stumble upon it. I went into the chat, and he saw me in there, and he called me out to come on to the show. And I think Pete Shea was in there, and Louis Hackett, and I went in there, and it was pretty cool. It was obviously we had our back and forth, and didn't come out of it agreeing with each other on a lot of things, but it was a good hangout, and he wasn't this big troll guy that everybody said he was. So at least not with me anyway. But we had a pretty decent talk, so I just want to give a shout out to him real quick. I mean, yeah, you guys can retract it if you want, but yeah.
Yeah, retracted.
No, but it was a good hangout. It was a good hangout.
Right, I've got a challenge.
I've got a bit of an announcement. Do you want to go first, or can I?
I'll make the announcement first.
Okay, go on.
We're gonna have a girl join the panel, right? So we need a placeholder to drop in the next 5 minutes or so, and I'll shout for when. And what I want is a dumbass baller to join the panel and basically discuss the shape of the Earth with her, and see if you can get your ass kicked by a girl. Because I'm pretty sure that you'll get your ass kicked.
Shout out for Rumpus. He's a dumbass baller.
Yeah, he's been kicked though, and so he won't be able to join.
Oh, has he? Oh, damn it.
So one of the placeholders needs to drop in the next 5 minutes. We'll have a female. I don't know why you need to highlight that fact, but fair enough. Anyway, my announcement. So from now on, I will no longer accept CAD drawings from 90 degrees adjacent to any observation that is actually being analysed. If you are going to present a 90 degree adjacent view, it must be a photograph of a 90 degree adjacent view to the observation that's been taking place with the camera. So in the case of Miles Davis, who has only got an AutoCAD drawing with stickmen to offer of the mountain and his position, that will simply be automatically dismissed, as I did with Rumpus today. So I asked him a very straightforward question: does your example include an orthographic drawing? And it did. And it was automatically, and this will be the case going forward, automatically rejected on this panel. So if you are to say, this is what the world will look like, and present a CGI rendering with stickmen and a side profile of what the camera actually took, I will automatically reject it. Because this is the undoing of the globe deception when it comes to representation of what they say is Earth curve as you look out into the distance. It's not Earth curve. It's perspective causing the things to disappear from the bottom up due to a limited viewing angle. And from now on, when people say we should see it all because look at my side profile, I will make it clear. I haven't got anything to compare this to other than your representation in a CAD program of the side of my head taking the picture and the side of the mountain I'm looking at. Well, I'm not looking at the side of the mountain. I'm definitely not taking a picture of the side of my own head when I look through a camera lens, and I'm not interested in this misrepresentation anymore. It is the magic trick to remove yourself from the actual observation, put yourself 90 degrees adjacent so that everything maintains actual sizes, which is precisely what they use in their calculations. Actual sizes.
What it also kind of does is make, if you incorporate an actual viewing function, what it does is makes a perfect parallel view. So the viewer is basically everywhere from that side at the same point. But that's not, you can't use that system for what happens at a distance. You just can't, it doesn't work. It's not designed to do that. It's a specification drawing. It's for actual sizes, for Yeah, for designing. It's not meant, that entire type of view is not meant for figuring out views. It's not what it was designed for ever. It's a design concept.
Right,
design
these side-on
system.
views are not representative of reality, as Arwin puts it. These views are not performing viewing functionality. They're taking only into account the actual sizes of things in terms of their full feet and inches, which remains the same at any distance. And in reality, we see things with an angular relation to things. Going out further into the distance, they will have a smaller angle. As you look down lower towards something, it has a lower angle as well. This causes the bottom-up obstruction that until now is claimed with a misrepresentation from side elevation, saying what flat earthers should see, that the obstruction is caused by earth curve. It isn't. It absolutely never was, and we never see any actual curvature. It's only this effect of things becoming obscured from the bottom up, which has been hijacked and called curvature, whilst the actual cause is removed by putting it into a side elevation view. This is what debunks Miles Davis, despite his 20 attempts to put out the same exact garbage that's debunked 6 months ago. We're not going to tolerate it anymore.
Yeah, he's definitely milked that one image. I think he's done about 22, 23 videos on it in the space of 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's just based on a misrepresentation of what he says we claim the Earth is. Well, we don't claim that you see the world from side on, getting a view of the side of your own head. We see what we see on screen now, through your eyeballs. You can't see the side of Ranty's head while he's taking this picture, but every single time they try and misrepresent our side of the argument, they'll show this picture and then show you a side of Ranty with a line drawn from his eyeballs to whatever he's looking at. Not the view that he's actually getting, which absolutely categorically includes perspective. Everything in this picture can be described and detailed using the angular relationships between everything on page. None of the actual sizes make any real difference. Who cares that the thing on that horizon, where I'm going to draw my mouse for the audience only, get the damn thing up. There we go. So the thing in this distance might be a 10-foot wall, but who cares? The fact that it's a 10-foot wall at this distance means nothing. The angular size of it is going to be absolutely tiny by comparison to the angular size of this, even though this is a 30, 40, 50 feet item and there's a 10-foot wall on the horizon. What describes that is perspective, the angular relation between things. And you remove that entirely when you go into a side profile view of things. It maintains actual sizes.
It's, you know what? You can still use it to describe in small a setup, to give an overview of things. But when it comes to actual viewing, no. You can't use it for that. You have to approach it from a perspective-based view system that incorporates all the elements that are naturally present, like obstruction, like the refraction, all these things. You can't really model that out. You can represent it on on such a diagram to help you imagine the process, as it were. But you can't use it directly for viewing. It's as simple as that.
Right, let me ask physics. Is physics here?
Sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
I'm just seeing if physics is here. Is he placeholding? If he's placeholding, I was going to ask him, would he mind stepping aside so we can get...
Sure, I'm here. Let me know when.
Well, now would be good. She's
right.
ready to join in. And what I was going to do is invite, what's his face, Cinder. Are you there?
Good. All right.
Thank you very much.
Jumping off the plane.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, physics.
Don't forget a parachute.
Now, hopefully, Cinder, are you there? Zinder's one of the more polite-spoken guys. Hopefully, he's not AWOL.
Probably getting lunch.
And just to address Nathan's attempted slur, I mentioned a female because nobody wants to get battered by a girl. So let's see if Zinder can have a conversation.
Hold on, Roxanne, is that really you?
Hey, Roxanne.
Yeah, it is.
Please.
Hello. Yeah, it's me.
Good to have
Hi.
you. Hello.
Hi.
So what we'll try and do is we'll try and have a conversation, ideally with Zinda. Are you there, Zinda?
Very wise, Zinda. Very wise.
I am having a sandwich. I'll be back very shortly.
Is that what he last said?
No, I'm just making that up. Hi, Roxanne. Good to see you around.
You too,
We can chat amongst ourselves till Zinda pipes up. If we mention him enough, I'm sure he'll go, oh, I was just in the kitchen getting a cup of tea. Or whatever.
Yeah. Because what we'll try and do is we'll try and get a conversation going where I'll just poke the bear a little bit, and I'll say Zinda thinks we live in a ball, and then I'll say Roxanne, kill, and then see what happens. Because obviously the reason why this is interesting is because Roxanne does it on the street, whereas we do it without the worry of getting stabbed. So it'll just be interesting to see what happens in the not real world for Zinda.
Well, Dawn Treader wants to come in, so maybe if we can make space for Dawn Treader.
Oh my god. It's a long time.
Someone kick Arwen.
Anybody willing to drop for Dawn? See how well liked Dawn is. We're about to find out, Dawn.
I'll drop.
I'll drop. No, I'll drop.
Good for you. So Plain Truth's dropping.
anyway.
Hopefully we'll get Dawn
Yeah,
in.
kick Zinda because he's AWOL.
Right, sorry, Zinder, nothing personal.
Oh, don't worry, Plain Truth. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad. I'm nipping out in a minute though, so I'll probably watch this back.
All right.
Hope you're gonna put up a good fight.
I'm starting to feel like I came into a room that I didn't realise was a boxing ring today. No, I'm only joking.
Yeah, no pressure. No, it's all good. It's gonna be a discussion.
Oh, goody.
Oh,
hey,
gee.
Rumpus.
For more?
I thought we were going to get Dawn Treader's a decent bloke. And now we have Rumpus instead.
Right, so
Roxanne, we have the wiggly worm at the bottom of the pond known as Rumpus. He doesn't understand anything to do with maths or real
Well, you know what they say about the early bird?
Catches the worm.
But this is going to be moderated. We're going to let Roxanne and the Rumpus talk about. Now, if the Rumpus want to obfuscate and keep talking over each other, then some people.
I only ever talk when I'm interrupted.
Nobody interrupted.
I think it has to be like.
I haven't talked yet.
I'm not sure that Rumpus.
You should maybe have a minute.
Wait,
listen, maybe you should have a minute each. A minute
I haven't
each
popped my
without
popcorn yet. Hold
interruption.
on.
That would be cool.
Rumpus,
Right,
you have to agree that you're going to be nice.
I'm always nice. I only get obnoxious when I'm interrupted by Nathan or you.
Roxanne, Rumpus thinks we live on a ball. Do you want to have a conversation with him about his nonsensical belief?
Come on.
Why do you think we live on a ball, Rumpus?
Because all of the evidence points that to be the case, and it
What
contradicts.
evidence is that?
Hold on, I was in the middle of a sentence there, and all of the evidence contradicts the flat Earth.
Right. And do you want to
Maybe a bit
reel off some of your
overgeneralized.
Arwen. Let Roxanne handle Rumpus.
Two voices, Roxanne and Rumpus. We're not going to hear nobody else. Okay, thank you. All on mute.
So, what evidence do you have for me that we live on a ball, Rumpus?
Well, simple ones like the sunset and sunrise, obviously convincing evidence. The position of Polaris, the fact that you can see the curve. If you take, for instance, go top of a mountain, and you take a theodolite view.
I can probably just stop.
Hold on, you've
right
interrupted
there.
me. Hold on,
I'm not going to sit there.
I was going to give you two more, and then I was going to stop. You're
listen to
interrupting me.
waffle,
You're
darling.
interrupting me.
You're
You're interrupting me. You're interrupting
actually
me. You're
waffling.
interrupting me. I was speaking, and you interrupted me. I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah, but
Right.
you're waffling.
Oh,
I'm not
no,
going to
waffling.
sit
Yeah,
here
you're
and entertain
You're
waffle.
interrupting me again. You're
That's
interrupting me.
waffle.
Have some manners. You're interrupting me. So
Well,
I'm going to make
so should you,
hold on.
sweetheart.
You're
You should have
interrupting
some
me. I was
manners and
speaking.
stop
You're
insulting
interrupting
people's
me.
intelligence.
You're interrupting me again. I didn't interrupt you. So I made 2 points, and then I was going to make 2 more just to give you a set to play with. And the other one was observing the horizon, say from a hill using a theodolite, the position of Polaris, boats going below the water, and the sun going below the water. That'll do then. Okay, now it's your turn. See how it works?
Well, I think it's, up for debate on whether that was evidence or not, to be honest with you. I wouldn't class that as evidence for a ball.
The fact the sun goes below the horizon, where this is impossible on a flat Earth.
I wouldn't agree that the sun goes below the horizon in the first place.
We can see half of it.
The choice of words is naff, for one.
We
But
can
I'll
see
start
half of
again.
it.
Let's start again and make it really simple, okay? Let's pretend I'm 5, okay? Now,
Well, you sound like you are.
what is your proof and evidence for living on a spinning ball flying through space.
Okay,
Put it in real simple terms that are measurably provable, because what you just came out with was absolute shit.
Was absolute mega proof, yes. Now you've moved on. I see you've dodged. You haven't answered my point. All you've done is now moving on to a spinning ball moving through space. So you've actually moved. You've deflected here. You didn't answer my points, and you're now making another. You're now talking about spinning balls and moving through space. So why did you dodge like the 4 points that I made? It's like because you're frightened of engaging with the argument.
I'm not going to go over old ground. I know that you.
What? Like is 1 + 1 = 2 old ground? Don't you like the fact that reality? You're not engaging with the argument, are you?
You're just rumpusing now, Rumpus. You're not having a two-way conversation anymore.
She's moved on the argument.
Fresh arguments, like he's coming with stuff that we've got. Like, if this guy's not going to give me new, fresh arguments, I'm not going to entertain it. Sorry.
What? So you don't let them inconvenient for you? Okay.
Regularly, yeah.
You're inconvenient. I know they're inconvenient for you.
So.
Well, I know you don't like gold items because they invalidate your position. So of course you want to have gone to another argument. I'm prepared to go anywhere. But
I beg to differ.
Well, if you don't understand that when you see the sun halfway, only half visible, that's obscured by you. There is no possibility on a flat Earth for the sun to do that. You can only have that on a sphere. So, and I know you want to move on from that argument because it invalidates your position. So you want to move on to another argument. Okay, well, I mean, but just as long as we all realise what you're doing, you don't like to engage with arguments that invalidate your position. So I'm happy to discuss any of the arguments. If you accept that one you can't cope with, then we'll talk about Polaris and the fact that when you go down a line of longitude, that the angle every 69 miles goes down by 1 degree. That's only possible on a spherical shape, not on a flat shape. Let's try that one. See if you can deflect from that one.
You want evidence, darling. You're just
giving. That is hold on. You're telling me that doesn't happen then? You're telling me that as I move down a line of longitude every 69 miles, that these Polaris angle to Polaris and horizontal doesn't change by 1 degree. Are you disputing that?
Sorry, Rumpus, what she asked was evidence that you live on a spinning ball flying through space, and you're telling her about.
Well, that's what she changed it.
Yeah, I hadn't finished my sentence, Rumpus. I was clarifying for you. It's okay. You don't need to interrupt me.
Well, hold on. This is supposed to be between me and.
Yeah, let's shut Rumpus up with the Rumpus button. This is why he gets muted. So I got about 4 seconds before Rumpus decided that it was his turn to speak. Still, Rumpus. She asked you for evidence that we live on a spinning ball flying through space, and you're telling her about Polaris moving through the sky. That is
I'm happy to do that, Nathan, but that
you're
wasn't
still talking. So, are you actually going to provide her with evidence that we are on a spinning ball flying through space, or not?
That was not the initial. I will, but that's not been the initial argument. I was asked why I thought we were on a sphere, and then she changed it when I invalidated that position. I gave her proof why we're on a spherical Earth, and then she changed.
No, he didn't. So that's why I've had to clarify with you that you didn't give evidence. You've talked about Polaris. That does not in any way, shape or form suggest that we're on a spinning sphere, other than you asserting that it only works on a sphere. So you are going to be using a formal logical fallacy known as affirming the consequent. If we travel to the southern hemisphere, then you will see southern rotation, right, Rumpus?
Interrupt. The only thing you can do is to interrupt and interrupt my answers. We started off with a question. I was asked, what have I got proof for a spherical Earth? Then she didn't like the answers in invalidated position. Then we moved on to spinning Earth and whether or not we're going through space. Those are 2 other issues. Now, if she wants to move the goalposts around, that's happy. But just as long as we realise that's what she's doing, because she doesn't like to be invalidated.
No goalpost moving going on whatsoever. She's asked you a direct question about prove you're on a bloody Earth that's sphere-shaped. That's the question. It's fairly straightforward.
You're over talking one another. I can't hear either.
I think Rumpus likes making claims. He doesn't like giving evidence.
Oh, I do want to give evidence. I'm absolutely dead keen on giving evidence.
Rule is.
So which subject do you want to talk about?
Indoctrinate you for.
So hold on. So which evidence do you want? Do you want evidence for a spherical Earth? Do you want evidence for moving through space? Or do you want evidence for spinning? Which one of those 3 do you want to talk about?
Evidence for a spinning ball flying through space. Go on.
Right, so you want to go off the subject of the spherical Earth. Okay, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy to discuss any of these things. If you want to move off the spherical Earth, that's fine. Right, okay, so we're now talking about whether the Earth is spinning or not. Right, so we can detect this by looking at the Doppler effect on the cosmic wave background radiation. As the Earth rotates, it actually causes the light from the cosmic wave microwave background radiation to become bluer or higher in frequency with in the direction we're looking at, and lower in the direction we're moving away. Additionally, Foucault's pendulum obviously is perfect proof that we're
just one at a time, Rumpus. Bear with me before you scattergun. So Do you want to address that, Roxanne? According to Rumpus.
Is that what you say to a 5-year-old? Because I asked him how he would say it to a 5-year-old.
Well, okay, so you're a bit stupid for me. Okay, so I've got to try and dumb it down. Then. Do you know what the Doppler effect is? Do you know what the Doppler effect is? Do you know what the Doppler effect is?
I asked you to give it to me as if I'm 5, and you started.
Well, yeah, no, okay. Well, some 5-year-olds understand what the Doppler effect is.
I have a target question.
Do you understand what the Doppler effect is?
I asked you to explain it as if I was 5. So
when I was 5, I understood what the Doppler effect is. Do you?
No.
Now you're asking a question. You're answering a question. Question.
You're not okay. You're a stupid 5-year-old.
I kept it really simple. And
do you understand what the Doppler effect is? Then we can base it on that, or do you want to go simpler?
I actually think if we did live on a spinning ball flying through space, this guy would have shut me down in 5 seconds.
Do you understand what the Doppler effect is, or are you not that stupid? No, too stupid.
I don't is actually irrelevant at this point.
No, because it's part of the evidence. So we can use the Doppler effect as evidence for the fact we're moving through space. But I need to know whether you understand that.
Sorry, why? Why would the Doppler effect that you've described...
I can move on to another thing. I mean, if you're too stupid to understand the Doppler
effect... side of the star happens always more...
Arwin,
Would it calm you down if you knew that I knew what it was? Would it?
Well, I'm happy. I mean, if you want to tell me you're too stupid to understand what the Doppler effect is, we'll move on from there. But if you're saying you do understand, it will help.
By your concerns, I know what the Doppler effect is, okay?
Excellent. Excellent. So you do know what the Doppler effect is. Brilliant. Excellent.
As if we're in preschool, okay?
Right. So okay. Well, we don't. Why do you have to dumb it down to 5-year-old? And why can't we discuss it as I can treat you as at least a teenager? Why can't I treat you as a teenager level?
What I speak to out on the roads.
Well, you're not talking to. Why do you want me to treat you like a 5-year-old?
Rumpus, because it's a belief.
Why do you? I'm trying to provide you with scientific evidence.
This is not scientific evidence, right?
I'm trying to provide you with scientific evidence.
Right, hold on a second, Roxanne. Hold on a second. Hold on, Rumpus. Nothing that Rumpus has provided thus far is scientific evidence.
I haven't been allowed. Well, she doesn't want to use. I mean, I'm now a bit confused. But she's prepared to accept Doppler. Are you prepared to accept evidence based around the Doppler effect? Can I talk to you on that level?
I hear what it is. Let's hear what it is.
Right.
What it is.
So, right. Okay. So you do understand what Doppler. For the benefit. Do you want me to give the answer or not? Christ. Right. So if we can talk about the Doppler effect, then
Rumpus, she's trying to answer you, but you just keep talking and cutting her off.
I'm trying to do what she asked, which is
no,
give the
she's
evidence
still talking, Rumpus.
Evidence.
Rumpus, you gave her about 3 seconds.
I'm being prevented from giving the evidence.
Rumpus, you haven't let her finish.
The evidence I've been asked for.
Yeah,
stop being so damn impatient, man.
Arwin, you're not helping. Rumpus, you need to let her actually finish what she's saying.
She asked me for the evidence. I'm trying to provide
Yeah, you're doing it again. You're talking. That means shut up.
Okay, she can have a go there. Okay, it's her turn.
Just because I'm going to let you say it doesn't mean I'm going to accept it. So don't assume acceptance just because you're saying it. That's what
we want to say. Right, great. So we understand what the Doppler effect is. That is, even 5-year-olds understand that when you get something like a police car coming towards you, that the frequency of the noise of the car increases, of the siren increases, and as it goes away, it goes down. So as it goes past you, it goes, raises up in pitch and then goes down. So that's the Doppler effect. Very simple. And we get the same effect with the rotating Earth. When we make observations in one direction or another, we can see that, for instance, the cosmic wave microwave background. Do you know what the cosmic microwave background radiation is?
There's a lot of questions that you've got for an answer.
Well, I need to know how stupid you are. So do you understand what the cosmic wave microwave background radiation is?
No, I'm not sure how much more of this conversation I'm willing to entertain.
Well, do you understand what the cosmic microwave background radiation is?
I want to retract what you just said.
I missed what you're saying.
Insinuating that I'm stupid.
Well, okay, I'm asking you. I try and pitch my answers to the level of the person I'm dealing with. So if you knew what the cosmic
derogatory Rumpus
is, don't know what it is, I'll have to explain it.
Questions, and you're being rude while you're doing it.
I'm trying to pitch my answers to your intellectual level, so I need to know whether you know what the cosmic microwave background radiation is.
It'll be a claim.
That's fine.
It'll be a claim.
Well, no. Do you know what it is, though? Just tell me yes or no.
Okay, Rumpus, yes.
Great. Right, so I'll just explain, just in case for other people, cosmic wave microwave background radiation, the remains of the Big Bang that's all around us in the universe. So as the Earth is rotating, that means we're moving, spinning with respect to that. So that means that we can see that the pointing along the axis of the rotation, we're pointing along the direction of rotation.
Sorry, aren't we supposed to be trying to prove? Hold on, stop. Stop.
Jesus Christ.
Stop.
So you didn't like me being invalidated.
Stop.
Well done, Nathan. Good.
Aren't you supposed to be trying to prove rotation as opposed to? Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you because you're supposed to be proving rotation, not presupposing it.
I'm trying to provide you with scientific evidence, but
this is definitely not scientific evidence. I'll say it again. You're supposed to be proving rotation, not presupposing it.
I am proving it. And if
No,
you
you're
let me
not.
finish my bloody sentence,
You just
I will.
presupposed it.
So, oh, Jesus.
You said if the Earth is a rotating sphere. You presupposed your outcome.
I'm trying to give you the evidence. Right, so
You've just given us the evidence. I listened. And what you did was subtly presuppose your outcome. What you did, Rumpus, is beg the question.
You can only ever mute. You can never cope.
I'm not
with being
muting you,
invalidated. I
stupid
appreciate it's
idiot.
difficult for
I'm not
you.
muting you. I'm telling you
Evidence
that
is
you're
there.
begging the
I know
question.
you want to deny reality. I know you want to deny science, and you've got to. And the only thing you can do is
You don't.
interrupt.
You're not getting muted.
I'm trying to
telling.
give an answer here, and you interrupted me.
I'm not asking you anything. I am telling you that you are begging the question.
I'm not.
So
here we go. We can observe it, Nathan. We can observe the
what?
cosmic microwave background radiation.
Yes, we can observe the microwave background radiation. That's not Earth's spin, though, is it, you dumbass?
Hold on. We can observe it, Nathan.
Yes, the microwave background radiation can be observed. That's not Earth's spin, you dumbass.
No, I haven't got there yet. You've interrupted.
What do you mean you haven't got there? I heard you presuppose it. I heard you say if the Earth is spinning.
I haven't presupposed anything. I'm giving you the evidence that exists, which is the existence of
You're not giving evidence.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I'm
Jesus.
trying to give you. I haven't been able to give you the argument yet.
Yeah, all he's going to do now is keep saying that he's trying to give us the argument and we're interrupting him. No, he's given us the argument, and I've ripped it a new asshole. What Rumpus has done is beg the question and automatically assumed that the Earth is... And he will talk over me every single time. Thank you for muting him, Anthony. Yes, he will talk over me every single time I point out his logical fallacy. He presupposed his outcome and inserted his presupposition that the Earth was turning in his explanation. Now he's telling the audience that we're stopping him giving the explanation. He's already given it. It comes with a presupposition that the Earth is spinning.
I only need 20 seconds to finish this answer, and then I'll hand it over to you.
Background really is okay.
Right.
The universe is cosmic. You need to just scrap it. Okay. You can't prove anything that you're saying.
I can because you can observe it.
What's worse is that you're wasting time.
I'm not. I'm being interrupted. What I'm being. I would have finished this 20.
Stop doing cocaine, Rumpus. Be
I would
quiet.
have finished it in 20 seconds, but I keep on being interrupted. We observe this cosmic microwave background radiation. It's a fact.
You can't prove what it is. You can't.
We don't need to. We don't need to for my explanation. If you waited for the second part of my explanation, you would realise I do not need to know where it came from. Okay? So you're presuming something. Right, so here we go. So we observe this cosmic microwave background radiation. It's a fact. It's observable. It's there. So, but what we do see is that in the direction of the rotation of the Earth...
There it is, you stupid idiot. You have just presupposed that we are spinning, you stupid idiot.
No, you don't like me.
Shut this nutter down.
No,
you stupid man. You stupid idiot. That is called a presupposition. You didn't prove anything. You told us that we observed microwave background radiation and then told us that the Earth is spinning. You absolute fool.
You have to interrupt, don't you, Nathan? You have to interrupt.
I didn't interrupt.
Time.
I pointed out your logical fallacy,
seconds.
you stupid idiot.
Nothing like a good rumpus in the afternoon.
5 seconds into that sentence and you interrupted me because you can't cope with the...
Yeah, I interrupted at the point that you presupposed the Earth was turning, you stupid man.
And I'm giving you an answer, and I'm giving you my position, so I can require...
Yeah, you gave us your position. Your position came with the presupposition that Earth is rotating.
And I will then let you reply without interrupting you. But I need 5 seconds to...
You don't need anything. What you need to do is presuppose that we're turning. Your argument comes with the presupposition that we're turning. That's why I've interrupted you. I will shut you down. You're not going to beg the question here. What part of an idiot are you? Don't you understand the rules? You don't get to presuppose your outcome and just say it's because the Earth's turning, you stupid idiot.
Turns.
Glorious
Let's see if we
confusion
can
of
take
Rumpus.
turns, Nathan. How about that as an idea? And I'll get
This
5
will be
seconds, and then you
nostalgic
can have a
later
go.
Right, Arwin.
So I've got 5
Arwin,
seconds
shut up.
to go here.
Any bets
I'm trying to finish in 5 seconds, and then you get it go, and I'll shut up. I will shut up if I'm allowed to finish my sentence.
Go on, let's all just go for it. Go
I
on.
wish to finish my sentence, and then I will hand over to you. So
Fire away.
Right. So if I
Go
can just right. So here we go. So as a result, we can see this observed microwave background radiation, and we notice that in the direction of rotation of the Earth, we can see that the Doppler effect.
That's begging the question. How many bloody times do I have to tell this absolute retard not to beg the question here? How many times have I got to tell you? Are you really this stupid?
That's the only thing you can do, isn't it, Nathan, to interrupt.
Yeah,
So
when
we
you
see
beg the
the
question,
Doppler effect.
all you can
We
do is beg
see
the question, you
Doppler
stupid
effect.
idiot.
So we see the Doppler effect acting upon the cosmic microwave background radiation, and that tells us that the Earth is rotating because
No, it doesn't.
we see the Doppler effect.
Doesn't
Right,
tell
so
us
I
anything.
finished now, and now you can respond.
It doesn't tell you anything. You're just assuming that the Earth rotates, you stupid buffoon. I've pointed it out to you 4 times.
The Doppler effect says that we're moving towards in different directions.
I have a very relevant direct question. I've
So I
been
had
sitting
20
on it for over 20
You hadn't
minutes.
interrupted me. I'd have finished that 20-second explanation, but you insisted on interrupting me.
Yeah, and it was useless. All it did was beg the question. All you did was assume that it was caused by Earth turn. You didn't prove Earth turn. You said that we can observe background radiation. Yes, we can. Then you inserted a presupposition that the cause was Earth turn. You proved nothing. You're an idiot.
Let's see what
I have
Rumpus says.
a very relevant direct question,
You
Rumpus,
get
please.
different Doppler effects. The only way to account for that is the rotation.
Right, let's see what Roxanne says to respond.
It's the only
Right.
way to account for it.
Can you just for the viewers and everyone's sake, can you give us some proof of what the cosmic microwave background actually is?
You don't
Just
need
right
to
now.
know that. All you need to know that is it exists.
Where's it come from?
Me to believe. You're asking me to believe,
Well, I
right?
can give you
I just need to believe you right now. So no evidence, just beliefs.
Oh, okay, I'll go respond to that if I can. If you finish,
Fire away on all
Can I
cylinders,
respond?
as I know you will, Rumpus. Go for it.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Go on.
Right. So if we have an object in the distance all around us in the universe, we don't need to know what it is. We just need to know
Sorry,
that
did
it's
you just
there.
say all around us in the universe? You begging the question, total retard. How many times do you think you're going to slip it past me? I'll tell you how many times you'll slip it past me, you stupid moron. You will never slip your begging the question past me, you absolute
I was
retard.
about 5 seconds into that.
Yeah, it took you 5 seconds to beg the question.
No, it's no begging. That's the point, Nathan. I wasn't begging it because you.
Yes, you were, you stupid little man. You pathetic little weasel. You think you're going to slip it past me, do you? You think you're smarter than me, do you, retard? You will never get to beg the question here.
Microwave
You will
background
never
radiation.
get to beg the question,
I did not
Rumpus.
ascribe any source to it except to my initial answer. I'm just saying that around us we observe.
Around us? What part of a retard are you? Do you think you're going to slip this by me by just saying around us? Around? What, spherically all around us? We're going to assume that it's spherically all around us, are we? You complete idiot!
I'm taking turns, do you, Nathan? You can't cope with being invalidated.
You're not being invalidated, you're being fallacious. You're saying all around us. So we're automatically assuming that this shit is all around us. That is called begging the question.
You science deny it and you can only interrupt.
Oh, here we go. So now I'm a science denier. No, dickhead. You are a fallacious idiot who thinks that by saying it's all around us right at the beginning of your example, that you're going to slip it by me. Is that what you think, you moron?
All directions.
Right, guys, stop. Right, let's hear a response from Roxanne, and Rumpus, respond to what she says.
I was in the middle of giving her a response.
You were in the middle of begging the question, telling us how this stuff's all around us, right, Rumpus? We're automatically assuming it's all around us, are we? Rumpus, I want an answer. Are we automatically assuming this stuff is, as you put it, all around us?
Yes, the cosmic wave.
So we are absolutely going to be begging the question in this example, then, you complete and utter moron.
Nathan.
That's big rage.
Question, bum.
It's
Question,
all from. If we look out into space from any position on Earth, we see the cosmic microwave background.
Any
radiation.
position
That's
on
a
Earth,
fact.
and would that be a sphere that we're looking from?
What is it? What is it, Rumpus? What is it? What is it? What is it? Tell us. Put me out of my misery and tell me what that background is.
Tell me when you're finished. So I can,
Are you hearing me clear and concise? Hear me good and hear me clear.
Are you going to waffle on, or are you going to stop?
Oh, wow, you're calling me a waffler.
I know you can't cope with scientific.
You're going to let her give a response, Rumpus?
Well, she keeps on waffling on. Right, okay, she wants a response. So you just go waffle.
Rumpus, shut up.
I'm supposed to be answering that question. She asked me to answer that question, and now she's interrupting me.
Rumpus.
Well, okay.
Slow. Said it real slow. What is it?
Go.
Right. Right, so the cosmic wave microwave background radiation we believe to be the result of the Big Bang, but that's not required. That's
Move that word out of your sentence.
You interrupted me. I didn't interrupt you.
The question is proven you use the word believe, so move that bit out of your sentence and start again.
You
I'm going to give you one
answer.
more go.
You interrupted my answer. You're interrupting my answer again. Can you not cope? Is this your tactic as well? Is you Nathan?
Proof.
You just
Evidence. You said
you interrupted my answer.
To believe something that your class is evidence.
To your question.
Give me evidence. Start again. I'm going to give you one more try.
To interrupt.
Okay. For your sake, let's start fresh because you started that wrong. You used the word believe. I want evidence.
Yes.
Tell me what the cosmic microwave background actually is. Tell me what it is.
Right.
Don't use the word believe. Yeah.
Well,
or
everything. We
don't
can't
ask me to imagine anything.
We can't prove.
So there you go. Done. Finished. Boom. You can't. Right. On to the next.
Right. So you don't. Well, that means you don't.
You just said you can't prove. You can't give me evidence. That's it. That's called taking a loss.
Just for the audience's benefit, literally, Rumpus isn't letting her get her word in edgeways. He is constantly talking while she tries to make her point, which he won't let her do because he's constantly talking.
It's called taking control of your waffle. Viewers and Nathan and everyone on the panel, you heard him say it. Rewind it if you want, put it in a clip. You just heard him say, quote, and I quote, I can't prove it.
Listen, I've kicked him because Dawn wants to join, and hopefully there'll be a better conversation because Rumpus is not the right person to have a conversation with. Yeah. Sorry, Rumpus, you need to allow people to speak.
In conclusion, all Rumpus did was beg the question and assume his outcome.
Oh, goody, another one.
Hey,
Roxanne has sex with Nick.
Somebody kick P Mars out.
What the fuck is wrong with you,
Here,
Pete?
No
Trash.
swearing, please. No
Get
swearing.
out.
Go kill yourself. You
No
fuck.
swearing. No.
No, don't do that. But I kicked
no
him.
need for that.
No, he's a piece of shit.
No need.
Right, but I.
Hey Dawn, how you doing? Can you hear us, Dawn?
Is it you, Dawn?
Check.
Yeah, give me a second. It might be him.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
Hi everyone.
Got snipers kicking everybody out.
Wait a moment.
Marvelous.
I'm Cinder, sorry, I joined with.
I think I'll probably round the show out as we get sniped to all hell. So, I'm going to say first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, then smash that dislike button twice. If you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley and I'll see you all in the next video. One more thing. If you missed the first show, you can actually catch it on a replay on my second channel, which is Nathan Oakley. That goes out right about now. So check out that. I'll put a link in the chat box so you can go straight to it and continue chatting. Once again, I've been Nathan Oakley and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!